Before I met my mentor, Bob Proctor, I didn't have a flipping clue what attitude was. I just thought some people have good attitudes, some people have terrible attitudes, and some people have fantastic attitudes. Now, when I started working with Bob, I was really surprised by what attitude is. Attitude is the composite of your thoughts, your feelings, your actions. And it's your thoughts that trigger your feelings trigger your actions, and it's your actions that are producing your results. And what I've found is that most people are reactive instead of proactive. So they feel, then they act, and they call that their attitude. But I'm telling you something that is 100% the truth. Your attitude isn't inherited. You choose your attitude. Now, I don't care what's going on in your outside world. We're all facing challenges, but the key is to keep a great attitude regardless of what's going on outside. Because what's going on outside should never control our thoughts, it should never control our feelings, and it should never control our actions either. And you know what? That makes me laugh, because when I was stuck at earning £15,000 a year, my attitude was just survival. And I thought I was hustling. But what I was really doing was just resisting abundance. Now, your attitude controls your vibration. Your thoughts trigger your feelings. Feeling is conscious awareness of vibration. And whatever vibration you're in, however you feel, is going to dictate your actions, and it's also going to dictate what you attract to you as well. So if your thoughts are lack, then of course you're going to feel pressure. You're going to feel stressed. You're going to feel anxious. And if you feel anxious, then your actions are just going to be scattered. You're going to procrastinate. You're going to self-sabotage. You're not going to want to turn up and give value to your audience. And if that's your actions, then you don't need me to tell you what are you going to attract. Because your subconscious mind is always responding to your internal climate. You know, people come up to me in the gym, people say, Joel, your energy is incredible. Like, how do you do it? And I say, it's what's going on between these 6 inches. That's the only difference between me and you. We have both been given this same power. We can call it spirit, we can call it energy, we can call it God. But we have a power that flows into our consciousness, and out of that power, we create thoughts. Now, you are completely in control of what you think about. I don't care if your whole outside world is breaking down right now. You can still think good thoughts in bad times. You know, it's so easy to have a great attitude when things are going well, when business is booming, when clients are flowing in, when relationships are great. But the real high achievers, they have an even better attitude when the outside world's not going well. And this is why affirmations don't work for most people, because they're talking about money, they're affirming money, they're rich, but at the same time, they're on a fair vibration. It doesn't matter what you're saying out loud. It doesn't matter what you say to me. You can say to your family and friends, I am going to be rich. I'm going to be rich. If your inner speaking is, why is this not working? I'm frustrated. Why am I so unlucky? Why does money never come to me? Then them thoughts are going to trigger the same feelings. It's the law of cause and effect. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. In other words, for every thought that you sow, you must reap a similar effect. What you've really got to do is you've got to change your paradigm, okay? Your paradigm is nothing more than just lots of habits that are fixed inside your subconscious mind. So in other words, it's your belief system. I have calls with tons of people, and they say they want to make 10K plus a month. And I say, look, you and I both know that you can make that. Would you agree that you're worth that? And they'll turn around and they go, hell yeah, I'm worth it. And I say, well, I know that, and you know that, but right now your subconscious mind doesn't believe that. And the way I know that your subconscious mind doesn't believe it, because if your subconscious mind believed it, you would see it in your results. Your subconscious mind is your emotional mind. In other words, it's your feeling mind. Feeling is conscious awareness of vibration. Once your subconscious mind believes that you make £20,000 a month, you will attract everything that you need, because you are in harmonious vibration with that amount of money. You know, once I changed my paradigm, once I changed my attitude, once I started disciplining my thinking, everything changed for me. You know, I turned my yearly income into a monthly income, and I've helped multiple people do the same thing. And to be honest, it's very easy to do. Once you learn how to implement this information, your results just start to take off, because you start studying this material from a higher level of awareness. Now, when we think about money, this universe tells us that nothing is created or destroyed. So the amount of money that you want to attract is here. What's missing? You're just not aware of how to do it. So it's not about working harder. The only thing that you've got to do is grow and change your level of awareness. It's incredible. So the action step for you, I really want you to start disciplining your thinking. I don't want you entertaining any thought that contradicts your goal. I want you visualizing yourself already with your goal, and I want you having mental conversations from that place. And also your action, it's got to match your intention. That's very important to understand. So I don't want you just walking around saying I'm abundant, but operating through fear. If you say I am the best in my industry, then I want you to act like that person. I want you to get on YouTube and give value or whatever platform you're going to use to serve your audience. And once you change your attitude, I'm telling you, your outside world has to change because your results are an exact mirror of your attitude. You can think about anything that you want to think about. I only entertain thoughts that make me feel good. And if you was to do the same as me, if you was to have the same thoughts as me, you'd have exactly what I've got. If I was to have the same thoughts as what you're having, I would have exactly what you've got. We literally become what we think about. Thinking is the primary cause of your results because your thinking causes your feelings cause your actions, and your actions are producing your results, guys. So if you've been saying to yourself you're stuck because of circumstances, you're stuck because you can't afford a mentor, you're stuck because you live in this certain place, I want you to get rid of that thought right now because you're not stuck because of your circumstances. That's an easy way out. That's an escape. You're stuck because of your current attitude towards your life. I would really recommend that you book a one-to-one call with me or go and download my free 10K plus month breakthrough blueprint. I will show you exactly how to get from where you are to where you want to be, and I'll help you uncover those subconscious blocks that are keeping you stuck. I never get my clients to work hard. The only thing that I get my clients to work hard on is the inner work, because what's going on inside is a reflection of what's going on outside. And once the inside changes, the outside has to change. As above, so below. As within, so without. If we get you to believe within that you make 5 figures every single month, without has to reflect it. That's the law. That's not something that Bob Proctor made up. That's not something that Joel McLeod or Neville Goddard or Napoleon Hill made up. These are universal principles. And I'd also love you to comment, what part of your attitude do you need to change now? What thoughts do you need to stop entertaining? And also, what can you do to start improving your attitude moving forward? I look forward to seeing you on the call. Download the free 10K blueprint, and also don't forget to leave the comment. I literally reply to every single person, as you probably already know if you're already subscribed.